On this episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, it's New Year, New You, same us. Who knew? We'll see if I can finally talk Lance into changing out of his so-called lucky underwear in 2024 as every single sports team in Phoenix sucks, and none of them are going to any sort of championship.
Welcome to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Absolute Geek podcast of 2024. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance. Gosh damn it, I love that intro song.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a great holiday season, a great Hanukkah, a great Christmas, a great Kwanzaa, and a happy New Year, and whatever other holidays you may celebrate. I spent my holidays having my second kid.
Yeah, dude. How's that been? Have you noticed a difference or?
I'm tired.
Yeah, well, that's baby. Anytime you.
It's not though. It's not baby. It's the older one.
Oh yeah, that's a tough transition too. I remember when there's a new one that comes in, the youngest tend to digress a little bit, and it's a new environment for them, so they just don't know how to act. It's like they revert back to their factory setting of, I'm going to annoy everybody in this household until I get this apple that I asked for, or you know what I mean?
Well, it went from like she was very independent, like, all right, see you, mom, see you, dad, I'm gonna go do my own thing, and now it went to being very clingy, a lot of separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Went from sleeping at night to now all of a sudden waking up at random times, screaming, "Mommy and Daddy, where are you?" And then up for 5 hours. So we're getting like no sleep. But the little one's like clockwork, man. Like she wakes up every 3 to 4 hours to eat and then goes right back to sleep. So
yeah, it's rough, dude.
She's good. It's just the sleep regression on the older one is a little nightmarish, I guess.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Like, one thing we did is we would always, like, when the new baby came, and the kids came to see the baby, right, in the hospital, we would always have like a gift like for something really small, like $5 or $10, like a baby doll or something like that, and say, hey, the new baby brought you this. And that seemed to like soften it a little bit, I think, because you tell them for 9 months, like, a new baby's coming, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, okay, cool, like they're so excited about it, and then the day gets there, like, what the fuck just happened?
I mean, granted, she's 1, so she doesn't really comprehend. New
No,
baby's coming, new baby's coming,
Yeah, she just sees that her attention's being a little bit divided now, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know I don't even know if it's that. I'm kind of wondering if it's more so like how we left, because we left abruptly at the middle of the night and she was asleep. My sister was here when she woke up, so I don't know if, I don't know if it traumatized me, if that confusion kind of sparked something, but we're getting through it, man. We're working.
It'll get better, man, once it becomes her new normal.
And I went back to work this week, so it's just kind of like just a little bit of a transition. So
everybody went back to work this week. I feel like the last 2 weeks have just been come and go.
Yeah.
But
it always seems like whenever you're on vacation, time flies by, and then
oh yeah, and then
you gotta go to work and it like crawls by.
Molasses. Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm really
you're an old geek when the most exciting thing you did over Christmas break isn't like what cool gift you got. It's, oh, I had a kid, and oh, I'm tired, and oh, this and oh, that.
Dude, this is the first year that I'm like, I can't wait for this holiday season to be over. Like, I just felt
It didn't
constantly.
feel like Christmas.
No, well, yeah, it means more to my kids now than it does for me, but, like, every weekend was tied up doing something, like,
Mhm.
and, I really look forward to those moments where I can, like, literally sit on my couch and do nothing, and I don't remember the last time I was able to do that besides this week. My in-laws came to town, they just left on Tuesday, um, and, my mother-in-law is a saint, but my father-in-law is a lot of work, you know? He, constantly needs to.
Remember, this is gonna be on the internet.
I don't fucking care.
Careful what you say.
Yeah, they'd have to figure out how to use the internet first, but, but, like, just constant he's just needy, man. Like, if I'm not in there watching a game with him, he's like, "Hey, I come all the way out here and you don't even watch this game with me." I was like, "Well, I don't wanna watch the fucking Nuggets and, Orlando Magic."
Sure you do.
Now his team is the Nuggets, and it just drives me nuts, dude.
Is it because he's a bandwagoner and they won the championship last year?
No, he's from Colorado, born and raised, lives there
On the
currently.
playground where he spends most of his days?
Yeah, he's Avalanche, Nuggets, and Broncos all day.
Nice.
But my mother-in-law, dude, she's a saint. The only thing I had to do with my mother-in-law is she's got a bad hip. She just had hip surgery like last year. And she likes to clean up after my kids. So I gotta fucking, hey, sit your ass down. You're not here to clean up after my kids. You're here to spend time with them.
Your mother-in-law can come over to my house and clean up after my kids.
She has COPD and bad hip, and I'm like, chill the fuck out, man. You're not here for that. So then to make sure she doesn't do it, I'm more on my toes, like making sure that the house is always clean. And when they're not here, you can let it go for a couple hours and no one's going to touch
hours,
it.
2 to 3 weeks.
Dude, you got 2. When you got 5, dude, it's like a fucking
yeah. I don't need 5.
It's 2 to 3 hours would be a couple weeks for normal people. But I don't know. What about you, man? Like, what did you, besides having the baby, of course, but what did you like most about this holiday season? What was, kind of shitty?
It really just didn't feel like Christmas, man. Like, it didn't feel like the holidays. Like, it came and went in a blink of an eye, I felt like. And it's because, like, we were busy. Like, our December was busy getting ready for the baby and all that and trying to get Christmas squared away for Logan. And I think really just that was because, like, Aaron and I were like, let's not get gifts for each other this year. Let's just focus on the kids and let's not worry about it. And so that's what we did. So really didn't get much. Not that that matters, but just finally Logan being at the age where she understands and comprehends Christmas and like was actually opening gifts on her own and was excited about it. Even though she would like open one and then want to play with it. And then like, Christmas, you want her to keep opening and opening. And she's like, I want to play with this. And then so she'll play with the one toy for like 20 minutes and then go open another one. And it took her probably like 2 days to actually open up all of her gifts.
Really?
Yeah. Just because she would open one and then play with it. And
Were you at your house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got this big like bluey play set from Costco for her for Christmas. And
with the van and stuff. Did you send me a picture of that?
Yeah, with the car and the like backyard swimming pool and she plays that like crazy. So
we bought our girls a fucking Barbie dream house that is bigger than my guitar amp. Like it's
nice.
It's so fucking huge. And I remember, and I gotta be quiet about this, but I remember being up close to midnight. Well, no, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning putting that shit together. Fuck Mattel, man. Fuck them. Right in the ass, dude. Mattel, they couldn't have made that any harder. Like every single piece is individual. Like it has this big like water slide on the side that's like a coil. And it's like in 4 or 5 pieces. And it's like the box is huge. The box is the size of like a truck bed, right? Like it's fucking huge. You're telling me that you couldn't, put a couple of this shit together? Like it's obnoxious. And then why? Explain to me. And I'm not sure if the Playhouse was like this, the Bluey Playhouse, but why the fuck don't they put the stickers on that shit before they put it in the box? Like, why do I have to fucking put the stickers on it?
So on the Bluey Playhouse, they did, and they were all good except one. So it comes with like a little refrigerator, and the refrigerator, the stickers are upside down.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's awesome. She doesn't notice.
No, she doesn't care.
But like, and then the other thing is, dude, like toys that require batteries. Okay. Some companies put the batteries in there, some don't. This needs to be a normalized fucking thing. Because there's certain things that we got that I didn't even realize took batteries.
And it probably said right on the box, batteries not included, and you didn't
Probably. But you're just like buying shit right and left, But like I bought my son this Nerf gun that takes like 6 D-size batteries. I'm like, why the fuck? First of all, why isn't it just like everything else? You just rechargeable battery. 6D batteries. How many things in your house can you name besides a flashlight that use D batteries?
None. The other one is the other obscure one is like the C battery.
Yeah, and there's another Nerf gun that we got last year that takes C batteries. So what did I do? I went on Amazon and I bought the batteries. I got one right here. I bought the batteries that you can plug in. You seen these?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're awesome. USB-C right there. They're rechargeable. So I bought 12 of these or something like that. I think they come in packs of 6. About 12 or something. And they come in and I take them out and I load up the new gun. And then I go to get the old gun. And lo and behold, it doesn't take these ones. It takes these ones, motherfuckers. And so I had to return half the batteries I bought to buy these ones, and these recharge as well. See, but
what's the difference between them?
This is a D and this is a C.
Oh, C battery.
So this is my dick. This is yours.
I think it's the other way around, buddy.
But fuck, dude, same company, Nerf, same amount of batteries. Why the fuck don't they normalize this shit? Fucking just, I don't know, dude. Sorry, we got off on a tangent because it's something that really upsets me.
It's all right.
And then my kid's like, well, I want to play with my gun. Well, I'm like, well, it's Christmas and this shit's probably not gonna be here till Tuesday or Wednesday because everything's like back ordered now, or backlogged to ship.
Should just went over to Walgreens and got yourself some batteries.
I thought everything was closed.
No, some Walgreens are open still on Christmas.
I didn't know that. Well, one year, dude, they got a Power Wheels, like a ATV Power Wheels thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was putting it together the night of, getting ready for Santa to come. And we put it all together and the back axle was bent.
Oh.
Yeah. So then I had to get really creative. I made a note on the computer from Santa that said, hey, kids, I pulled this out of the bag and it's broken. And let your mommy and daddy know, and they're going to, exchange it on Monday, whatever day it was. The next day the stores are open. But that, dude, that fucking pissed me off.
Exchange it because Santa is a retail shop now. Not a my elves fixed it. It's we're gonna let you exchange it.
Right.
Santa Claus.
But how the fuck the whole back axle was bent? Like it's supposed to be straight like this, and it was like this. Like it's like it's like it fell off a truck or something, and just got.
Isn't that how you get most of your things in your family? They just fall off the back of a truck.
But that fucking pissed me off, dude. I felt awful. I'm like, dude, here you go. Fucking spoil Christmas. But I digress. My kids had a blast this year, so that's all that matters, I guess. That's why we do it, right?
Yeah. Mine did too. Just
well, your little one doesn't know
crazy.
what the hell's going on yet.
Right.
So did you, because the baby was born before Christmas, right?
Yes, baby was born on December 17th.
Right.
Before Christmas.
So did you have Santa gifts under the tree just for Logan's sake for the new baby?
We had, so we do, the big gift is from us, and then her little gifts are from Santa. And then so we had stuff for Riley under the tree also, and so there was nothing from Riley to Logan, because like she doesn't know, she doesn't understand. Like to her, it's all
No, that's not what I was saying. Like if Logan came and saw a bunch of gifts under the tree from Santa, was anything there for Riley?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense it doesn't matter for Riley.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I meant for Logan, like the appearance.
Yeah, like Riley had a stocking. We had a stocking for Riley and all that stuff. It just, it's almost like she's a brand new. She doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Next year will be different, but
well, maybe. I don't know. She'll be just hitting a year, dude. She might just be handing her shit. She still might not.
Probably.
Yeah,
it'll be about this, because Logan was just about to turn a year last year at Christmas. So
yeah, I feel like, so Livy turned a year in July, and I feel like this was the first year where she's like, oh, a fat man in a red suit. And no, it's not me. A fat man in a red suit brings me gifts. You know what I mean? Like she's starting to realize, like, we went and took pictures with Santa, and she's like, oh, this is the man that's going to bring me gifts. Like it's starting to click, which in hindsight, like she's going to turn 4 here in July. My daughter already doesn't believe in Santa. She was 10, I think, when she figured out there was nothing, or 11. That only gives them like 6 years, 7 years of believing. Oh, hi, Logan. So that was really fun this year. Like seeing her eyes light up. Everything Christmas was ho ho. She's like, Dad, look, ho ho. Lights, ho ho.
Yeah,
Christmas tree, ho ho.
Logan is very much up on Santa and who he is and what he's about, even at almost 2. So
yeah,
it was all good. But enough about our Christmas. I hope all you guys had a great holiday season. Let us know in the comment section below what you did for your holiday season and what your favorite part of the holiday season is. But let's talk New Year. Let's take a look back at 2023 and a look forward at 2024. Kind of talk about our best and worst of the last year, kind of like TV show, pop culture wise, TV shows, events, music, movies, kind of encompass it all into what we liked and disliked about 2023. What would you say your top TV shows of 2023 were?
Mine?
Yeah.
That's tough because there were some great ones. And right now I'm in the middle of Reacher season 2, but I didn't really think that. I kind of did like debuts, when I was thinking about this. So my top, I think, TV show is Shrinking with Jason Segel.
Solid show.
Ford. Because that was a show that I'm like, oh, I have to watch this. But there were so many fucking good shows, dude. There were so many good shows. With the writer strike and actor strike, you thought that this was going to be a ho-hum. Is that the term? Ho-hum year? Is it ho-hum?
I wouldn't say 2023 was going to be a ho-hum year with that. I would say you kind of look at 2024 as maybe being a down ho-hum year.
That's true, because they were filming.
How long it went on?
Yeah, they were filming up until the writer strike. But what was your top TV show?
Yeah, there was a lot of them, man. Like for me, we said in 2023, we said goodbye, or did we? Who knows? To Ted Lasso, and that's probably like one of my all-time favorite TV shows.
It's a great show.
I really love Shrinking. Shrinking was really good. I think I talked to you about. I told you to watch Shrinking quite a few times.
Yeah, you're the one that got me into it. You watched it like right off the bat.
Yeah, it was probably my breakout show of the year. Of course, there's always good things like What We Do in the Shadows, and I'm sad to hear that 2024 is going to be the final season for that. You had Gen V. This boy spinoff was really good.
Started off a little slow, but I think it like the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes I thought were fantastic.
I got really into the Squid Games, the challenge, the reality TV version of the Squid Games. My wife and I got super into that. But there was a lot of, as I was thinking about this, I was like, I didn't watch. I watched a lot of TV, but I really didn't watch a lot of TV in this year because there's like so many new shows. Like, of course, you got The Last of Us, but I really could have taken or leave that. Like, I didn't think that show was as like amazing as a lot of people did. But there was just some other, like, that 90s show, that 70s show spinoff was okay for what it was.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
It wasn't like groundbreaking television by any means, but there just wasn't a lot. I felt like 2023 was more about like the year of shows ending than it really was new shows.
Yeah, let's, like, if you consider like all the shows that ended, Ted Lasso, you know, question mark, we don't know what's going on with that,
right?
But Letterkenny,
Flash, Letterkenny, final season of Letterkenny. Which, have you watched that yet?
I've watched the first 2 episodes. I don't know, maybe I'm not paying enough attention to it because I feel like the other seasons I wasn't able to like put down. Like, I just binged it. You know, it comes out usually around Christmas. This one, I feel like it's been a little tougher.
See, I felt the opposite. I felt like this season, the final season, was so good. I felt like the last 2 seasons, 10 and 11, were kind of like, they had this overarching story going, right? And then like the last 2 seasons, season 10 and 11, they lost that story and it just become like this random mess. And then finally for the last season, they put it back together and it had a great story and it was a good ending. And it's kind of like, I feel ripped off. I want 2 more seasons with actual story versus whatever that hodgepodge was that you gave us of Letterkenny that didn't even really feel like Letterkenny. It felt like we were more focused on Shoresy, but we got to put Letterkenny out, so we're just going to write a random hodgepodge of episodes to get a 6 or 7 episode season out.
It definitely started to feel disjointed, and maybe that's my issue with this season is I still have the, what do you want to say, PTSD from the previous 2 seasons, and it hasn't really picked up a story yet. The first episode, I think they're like doing a comedy show or something, and then, or the first episode, yeah. In the second episode, I don't even think I finished the second episode. I think I'm like halfway through it, but
it's worth a watch. Like, so the overarching story of the season is they do the comedy show and they make fun of Derry, and he feels betrayed by his group. So he goes out and meets a new group of people and becomes a D-Gen. And he's like struggling with being called a D-Gen and being part of the hit group. And it's kind of like him, like that's the whole overarching story. And it's really good. It is very good.
I'll watch it. Of course I'll watch it. I mean, I think that this last season of Shoresy, though, was some of the second season of Shoresy was some of the best Letterkenny shows I've seen in a while. Like, I really loved season 2.
Yeah, the Shoresy season 2 was good. I didn't really care for season 1, but I flew through season 2, watched it all in one day.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I really liked it. And that's another one we got this year was season 2 of Shoresy. So, you know, they're not ready to walk away from this universe yet because you're going to get more seasons of Shoresy, but I am sad to see the end of Letterkenny.
Well, my thing is, dude, like, if they don't have a show with Bonnie McMurray and Katie in it.
Ooh, Bonnie McMurray.
Oh my gosh, dude. I showed my wife is like, why do you watch this show? And I pulled up a picture of Bonnie McMurray.
I want to say it's episode 2 or 3. Jim Dickens wants to be a country singer, so he makes a country song called Sun Darts about smoking cigarettes in the sun.
I'm in the middle of that. They're using AI to figure out like the best country song.
Yeah, it's actually a really catchy song and such a good video. You get to see Bonnie McMurray and Katie in some very provocative outfits.
Yeah,
it's definitely one you want to wear sweatpants for, because it'll go from 6 to midnight real quick. Tuck it in that waistband, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the one thing about, dude, I don't know, like, are all girls in Canada just drop dead gorgeous? I don't understand.
I don't know, but I feel like it's a boot time we go find out.
Our wives will love that.
Yeah.
Watch out, Canada.
Right. Here comes me.
So, and then the second show I have on my list, which I think you said you hadn't started watching yet, and it's more of teen fare, I guess, but I've been really impressed with it, is the Percy Jackson show on Disney Plus. It's been a while, I feel like, that we've gotten, well, aside from Goosebumps, that we've gotten a top or high caliber type show on Disney Plus. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And Percy Jackson definitely feels like they put a lot of thought into it. It's following the book very well. I haven't read the book. My wife and kids all have read the book, and my wife says it's besides minor changes, you know, that they always do that, but it follows the book pretty well. In fact, every time something happens in the show that didn't happen in the book, she goes, "That's not how it happened in the book." So she makes sure to tell me something's different, but different than the movies, which I enjoyed the movies, but apparently the movies were just the Wild West, dude. They did whatever they wanted. But Percy Jackson's been really good.
I have no interest in that. I would never read the books. I have never even seen the movies. It's beyond my time. It's like Harry Potter. Like, I never got really into Harry Potter. That was like the generation behind me. Like my sisters were into Harry Potter. It's just not something I ever got into.
I read all those books. Except the last two, I think. I haven't read the last two. But like Hunger Games, I read all those.
I've seen all those movies. I've seen all the Twilight movies. And yes, I'll admit that. But I never read any of the books.
I never read the Twilight books, and I don't think I've seen... How many Twilight movies are there? 4?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think I've seen 2 of them. But my wife and I were dating, I think, when the first one came out. Or maybe the second one or something like that.
I know what you are. Say it.
They're just really dumb, dude. Like, I'm not into those.
Sparkly.
But yeah, Percy Jackson's been really good. And Goosebumps was really good too. Justin Long is phenomenal.
About to finish that. I think I've watched like 3 episodes of it. Never finished it.
I enjoyed it because it felt so like the Jack Black movie came out and it didn't feel like Goosebumps. Like, it felt like kind of slapsticky to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this one, I feel like, was trying to appeal to the generation that actually read Goosebumps when it was first coming out. It felt a little darker.
It was interesting how they incorporated major chunks from all the different Goosebump books into the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like Night of the Living Dummy or the Haunted Mask. And
the first 5 episodes are 5 different books.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Snake, Cheese, and Die. I think that was the second one where they find the camera and they're taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. They had the mask. They had the worms. The mask, the worms, the camera. What am I missing here?
I don't know if they had the Night of the Living Dummy stuff or not.
No, because Slappy comes later, I think. I think he's introduced at the end of episode 5. And then that's where the new stuff goes into. But then they had the Possession. I think that's one of the books.
The Haunted Man. It's not the Haunted Mansion. I think that's from the first book.
Yeah. But it was really well done, and it gave Goosebumps. I loved Goosebumps, right? I the Scholastic brochure would come to school, and I would get a ton of Goosebump books. But the other one that I got, which I've heard they're
Welcome
developing,
to Dead House.
Yeah, I think that's the one with the kid possessing the guy.
Yeah, Welcome to Dead House, and then Stay Out of the Basement, and Monster Blood, Say Cheese and Die. Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, Let's Get Invisible, Night of Living Dummy would be book 7.
So the other one, I heard they're adapting it, is Animorphs, which when I was a kid, it was Ghostbusters and Animorphs, dude. I was obsessed with all those books. In fact, I have all the books. I recently went to like thrift stores and like rebought them all to read with my boys. But if they could do something that is the way Goosebumps did, that pays homage to the original, generation that read those books, Animorphs has a potential to be fucking awesome. Especially with the way science or CGI is nowadays.
Animorphs was already a TV show in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Nickelodeon, and I think it went for 6 episodes and got canceled because it looked bad. I almost said Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's not one of the twins. The Jimmy Olsen, he was Iceman. It's one Sean. What are their names? Aaron and Sean.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah,
he was Iceman in the original X-Men movies.
Yeah, it's one of the twins was in that show. It was on Nickelodeon. It felt super low budget, but probably for that time it was probably had a big budget. That's why it got canceled so easily. But it looks the technology just wasn't there to turn animals into kids. You know what I mean? Like, and make it look realistic. Now I think they could do it and it would be awesome. And I also think,
you think so?
I think so.
I just think that's like a property that I don't know. I don't know if I don't really see people screaming for the return of Animorphs. It's just like, I don't know. It's just one of those, like, I feel like we're in the year of trying to revive the 90s.
Yeah.
So, like, now you're going to bring back Animorphs. And it's like,
well, if you remember those books,
screaming for Animorphs.
Those books sold millions of copies. I mean,
yeah,
they were extremely popular. So if you were going to do it, now would be the time to do it, to bank on that nostalgic, because I think, but it has to be good, because you can't just, that's my issue with some of these properties that are adapted, is they're banking on the nostalgic factor. And what they don't realize is it has to be good enough to get new people to watch it too. I think, like, I feel like Goosebumps did that very well. Goosebumps, my daughter, who's never read a Goosebumps book, watched that show, enjoyed it, loved it. For me, it was the nostalgia thing, but for her, it was a brand new thing, and she was into it. You have to balance that line, I think. And if they make it cool enough, it could be good. But I hear that they're writing a script for it, is what they're saying. What they said on Reddit on a page that I follow. So,
because they're even talking about reviving Ren and Stimpy now, and you had Beavis and Butthead revived last year, or 2022 really. So it's just like the last couple of years have been all about reviving the 90s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at these kids' wardrobes, these 12, 13, 14-year-old kids, they're all wearing like flannels and holy jeans, and
yeah, the ripped jeans are back, and the grunge era of fashion is very much back.
Nirvana t-shirts, and it's weird to me. They don't call it grunge. They call it like Visco or something like that.
Yeah, well, all I know is my 18-year-old sister came home one day wearing a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. She never listened to Smashing Pumpkins in her life. She's like, I just like the shirt. My dad goes, oh, well, name me 3 non-famous Smashing Pumpkins songs. And she's like, I can't. And he's like, fucking poser. And I was like, Jesus.
I never once thought that someone who listened to Smashing Pumpkins could sell somebody that doesn't listen to Smashing Pumpkins a poser. Because me that listens to like punk rock music, I call people that listen to, and I like Smashing Pumpkins, I'm not gonna lie, some of it, but to me, those people that listen to that mainstream rock stuff, we would call them posers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always but whatever. I'm being silly, but yeah, my daughter just bought a Nirvana sweater, and I'm like, can you even, if I played Nirvana on the radio right now, could you even tell me that was Nirvana? She has no idea. And some of it she does. Like I took her to an MXPX concert. She loves MXPX. She knows Blink-182. I mean, those kids have listened to that new Blink-182 album, I think, more than I have. So they know things. But if it's not something that I'm listening to all the time, they're not going to know it. My wife she bought a Pink Floyd sweater. I'm like, you don't know a single Pink Floyd song. You know, she has Nirvana, Rolling Stones. I can't stand the Rolling Stones. Always hated them.
Yeah.
I've always been a Beatles guy. Don't like the Rolling Stones. She has a Guns N' Roses shirt, and you know how I feel about Guns N' Roses. But I could still tell you, hey, that's a Guns N' Roses song, and I can name off at least 10 Guns N' Roses songs. But she buys the fucking sweater and the t-shirts, man. Like, I don't know. It's just funny.
Did you see that Kurt Cobain's daughter, Frances Bean, just married Tony Hawk's son?
Yeah. If that's
Crazy.
Not a 90s marriage, I don't know what is.
Right?
Yeah. By the way, Tony Hawk is like, what, mid-50s?
Something like that, yeah. And he doesn't age.
And he's still flying around on that skateboard. It's just crazy to me.
He's like Paul Rudd doesn't age.
Yeah, but Paul Rudd's not on a fucking skateboard doing tricks and shit.
He's 55.
Yeah, I thought he was mid-50s. Or
55
the guys
and still shredding.
The guys from Blink, I think, are 50 plus. And I went to their concert and they're fucking jumping around in the air like crazy people. Like, bro, I can't. If I jumped like that, I would definitely snap my knee.
Yeah.
For sure.
You get 2 inches off the ground, you're gonna fucking snap your knee when you come down.
Right. Hey, so we talked about TV shows. Do you have any I don't have any TV shows on my worst of. Do you have any TV shows on your worst of?
Again, kind of going into it being the year of ends, we had the final season of Riverdale, and that show shit the bed 2 seasons before it ended. Which is a shame because I really liked that show for a long time. And then they really hit the bed. Then we had the abomination that was Secret Invasion.
Yeah, now that you're naming some of these shows, I'm like, oh shit, I should have put that on my list.
And I liked it, but a lot of people consider it terrible. Was Ahsoka. There were a lot of people that didn't like Ahsoka, but I enjoyed it.
I liked Ahsoka.
Then there was I think the most unanimously hated show of the year was The Idol on HBO. That had Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter, and The Weeknd in it.
Yeah, I didn't even
from the creators of Euphoria, and people were saying that canceled? It was. I don't know if it got canceled yet, but I'm sure it's going to if it hasn't, because a lot of people were saying it was like having CIA level torture to watch that show. So,
but it got people watching it.
Yeah, because it had nudity in it, so that'll always do it. But
it had Johnny Depp's daughter.
Yeah,
nude.
I don't know if she was nude in it. I watched part of the first episode and I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I went about my life.
Yeah, I didn't even give it a chance.
But
when I saw The Weeknd, and nothing against The Weeknd, but I'm like, I saw the trailer for it, I think, and The Weeknd. There was a couple scenes in the trailer with The Weeknd. I'm like, they just cast this guy because he's a name. I hate when they do that shit.
Well, I mean, it's in a show about the music industry and Hollywood. it makes sense. But
So get somebody that actually acts. Like, isn't Paul Mescal in the music industry?
Andre 3000.
Yeah. Did you
50
see
Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
that? Should have been my worst of 2023. We all got hyped up that Andre 3000 was making his triumphant return to music. And he releases an album, and all it is flutes.
I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yes. It is awful. When somebody says Andre 3000 is coming out with a new album, like what is it? Where does your mind go? Oh man, a new hip Outcast and Andre 3000
Outkast
were,
album.
yes. Like Outcast and Andre 3000 are epic to me. Like Bombs Over Baghdad is a fucking masterpiece in my opinion. And fucking there's no vocals in it. It's just him playing the flute.
Jazz flute.
What a
missed opportunity. He should have called up his friend Will Ferrell as they were in semi-pro together and asked him to be Ron Burgundy and play some jazz flute on the album.
But what a freaking bait and switch, dude. If there ever was one. But yeah, no TV shows made it on mine, even though you mentioned some that easily could have made it on mine.
And the new season was season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Was better than season 2, or wait?
No, it wasn't. It was better than
Boba Fett. Yeah, but which I consider to be the previous season of Mandalorian.
Not that I hated Mandalorian. I didn't hate it. It was not. It didn't live up to all the hype, I feel.
Yeah, Marvel and Star Wars, man, have a real problem coming up. They got to really figure this out. I mean, with the Kang, being his verdict.
Jonathan Majors being fired.
Yeah, now they got to clean all that shit up.
They really don't have to. Like they could just end it where it's at and move on with somebody else. Which it sounds like is what they're already trying to do because
recast it.
Well, I don't know if they're going to recast it. They're already, I guess there's a war room put together where they're talking about changing the name of that Avengers movie to be just being an Avengers movie versus being Kang Dynasty.
But doesn't
Kang's going to be done at the end of Loki? Because Loki season 2 kind of like really in a lot of ways closes that book, and you can move on with some other big bad versus Kang the Conqueror, which is what they should have done in the first place.
Well, I think they're regretting this whole multiversal thing. You know what I mean?
I don't know if they're regretting it, but
well, I mean, they're regretting everything right now because they're not. I mean, The Marvels is the first movie that Marvel's had to not make back its budget.
Well, that also, there's a lot of reasons behind that, I think.
Well, they've seen a decline. I mean, Ant-Man Quantumania was supposed to be this big tentpole movie, and it didn't do that great.
Yeah.
So they've seen it for a while. All I know is that Bob Iger has got a task on his hands. I don't know how they fix it, nor do I even want to give my opinion on how they should. But I mean, he's got to fix the movie section of his company. He's got to fix the streaming and TV show section of his company, all while Ike Perlmutter or whatever his name is trying to overthrow the board. He gave all his shares to some company, and this company now has $3 billion in shares for Disney, and they're going to try to oust Bob Iger. It's a lot. I mean, it's crazy how much flux Disney is in right now. I mean, they didn't have even their Pixar movies, which were usually slam dunks. I mean, they took a big loss this year.
Yeah.
But so, okay, let's talk TV shows. I honestly, I don't have that many. I only have one, or not TV show, movie. Sorry. I only have one movie on my best of 2023 and 2 movies on my worst of 2023. What do you got?
Best for me, I mean, of course, you got to start strong with John Wick 4.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Fantastic movie. Across the Spider-Verse. Masterpiece of an animation movie. Tetris.
Tetris was good.
A surpriser.
I forgot about that one.
A movie on the lore of the video game and all the like espionage and backhanded tactics behind a video game.
Crazy? Isn't that crazy that all that shit happened for this one video game?
Yeah, it's crazy. Real crazy. Then one of my favorite movies is The Iron Claw with Zac Efron.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it because you know me, I'm here for A24 movies.
Very sad story though. Very sad story.
I believe it. I don't think A24 would have
covered. I mean, most pro wrestling fans know the story of the Von Erich family and how tragic it is, and that just turning that into a movie. They do it very tastefully. They handle the tragic manners of that family very tastefully.
Well, the one of the brothers was involved, right?
Yeah, Kevin Von Erich, which is the only surviving member of the family.
Yeah, so I definitely want to see that because I love A24 movies.
Zac Efron kills it in this movie. Like, it's probably one of his best roles to date. So,
did that come out in 2023 or did that come out 2024?
What, Iron Claw?
Yeah,
came out 2023. It came out in December.
So do you think it's good enough for him to be considered for Oscars conversation?
I don't know if it'll be Oscar worthy. No. Especially not when you have movies out there like Wonka, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm sure from everything I'm hearing, Timothée Chalamet is going to be in the Oscar talk for that.
I really enjoyed Wonka, but I don't know if I'd go that far.
No, like what other movies are out there that are Oscar worthy? And it's usually
Oppenheimer,
like movies you've never heard of. Yeah, like Barbie and Oppenheimer, which I don't understand the buzz around Barbie still to this day.
I really enjoyed Barbie. I took my daughter and her two cousins to go see it, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't know if it's an Oscar contender, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. Oppenheimer, though, was phenomenal.
I've still not seen Oppenheimer yet. I really want to. But after hearing how long it is, I was kind of like, that's more of a movie I want to just sit on my couch and watch.
But dude, it's a great movie for the big screen. Jay and I went and saw it together, and Cillian Murphy is just, honestly, I think I'm trying to think if any other Oscar contenders came out this year. Cillian Murphy might be my pick for best actor. Just because how much effort he puts into that movie, dude. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, they're not even like best actor is Cullen Murphy for Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers.
That's Coleman a great Domingo. One. Have you seen The Holdovers?
I have not.
I watched it this last weekend. Phenomenal. I think is that A24?
I'm not sure. Coleman Domingo for Rustin on Netflix, and then Bradley Cooper's new Netflix movie,
Maestro.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Holdovers was phenomenal. I don't know if you're saying best picture?
That's leading actors.
Like, I thought Paul Giamatti was fantastic, but I don't know if it's Oscar. I don't know. It's tough, man. Last year I felt like if Brendan Fraser doesn't win this shit, I'm gonna be pissed. This year, I've got my favorite, which I think is Cillian Murphy, but I don't know if any of them are gonna piss me off. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, Iron Claw is not even it doesn't look like they're nominated for anything Oscar wise.
Well, they haven't.
It's a shame because it was still a good movie.
They haven't even announced.
No, they haven't. This is just speculation of what is going to win it or what's going to be nominated.
Well, the thing is too is that what I found every year is there's always this like dark horse that gets nominated. Like the year that Moonlight won. I mean, I don't think many people went and saw Moonlight before it was nominated. And there's always, or that year that the Mark Ruffalo movie won, the Spotlight or Searchlight or something like that with the Catholic churches.
Mm-hmm.
There's always this dark horse that gets nominated for all these awards. Not saying Oppenheimer would be one, but Holdovers could be that movie. I mean, it was very good.
Like, it's always like this. I feel like every year around the Oscar time, there's like these obscure movies that come out of nowhere that nobody ever saw. They're like, oh yeah, that was released in 2024 or 2023, so that's Oscar nominated, and it's like, where did this movie even come from? Like it
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. Well, that's why Maestro came out when a lot of these movies come out around this time of year to be in the Oscar. Yeah. But yeah, December's kind of the month of the obscure movie. I mean, they do release some tentpole movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff, but Lord of the Rings itself was Oscar contender. So
yes, it was.
I think didn't the Two Kings win, or didn't one of them win?
I think
one
of them won a bunch of Oscars for,
but only won Best Picture.
Did it though?
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up real quick.
Yes.
Return of the King. That's what I meant to say.
The Fellowship of the Ring was Best Original Score.
So the Return of the King had the distinction of being the only fantasy film until The Shape of Water to have won the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, but
yeah,
I thought it was one of those. But yeah, that I remember Return of the King came out in December. But I don't know. I have I guess I must have removed one on here because I did put Please Don't Destroy as one of my top movies of the year. Did you watch that?
Never even heard of it.
Dude, it's Peacock. It's done by 3 guys on SNL. Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain or something like that. Conan O'Brien's in it. It had Anna and I on the fucking floor. Like, that movie was so dumb, but like clever dumb. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not stupid, but that movie, I want to see more from those guys. And it's got really high Rotten Tomato scores. Like, I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. It's on Peacock, I'm pretty sure. So fucking good. And then I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is my top movie of the year, I think. Is what
solid. I mean, it's a solid movie.
Yeah, no other movie had, like, first off, so excited to see it, right? Like, I was itching to go see that movie. And second, that, like, made me, like, I want to go see that movie again, right? That was the only movie. And then I do have some honorable mentions. A bit of surprise for me that I thought it was so good. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I wasn't going to go watch about a movie about a girl getting her period.
It's not a movie about a girl getting her period. There is a storyline in there about her not getting her period yet, but that's not what it's about. But I watched it with my wife and daughter, and I thought it was fantastic. Just very heartfelt and emotional. I think it's Beverly Cleary, based off a book of Beverly Cleary. Not Roald Dahl. I think it's Beverly Cleary. You know who that is, right?
Yes.
And no, then I don't know. I don't know what you know. My other honorable mention was Mutant Mayhem.
I liked Mutant Mayhem enough. I mean, it was a good attempt at a Turtles movie.
We kind of railed against it for the things that we didn't like about it, but in actuality, when you look at Ninja Turtles as a whole, it's the best adaptation to come out in the last, 20 years
since the 90s. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But that's why it didn't
I'm not really ready to completely write it off yet, because I'm intrigued to see where they go with it and how they rebound it and to see what they do with the Shredder. I think the TV show that they could come into Paramount Plus and the second movie are going to play big into how I view this franchise of Turtles moving forward, because if they just come in and absolutely drop the ball with the Shredder, then it's just an overall not great.
If they, because you and I discussed this, how are you introducing the Shredder when you change Splinter's backstory so much?
Right.
So they could screw it up. I don't know. We'll see. The TV show has me nervous.
Yeah.
Who is this TV show being created for? The people that like the movie, or for little kids?
Well, I think it's going to be the people who like the movie, because it's covering the same time frame as the movie. So,
and the other thing that makes me nervous is we saw a couple years ago that Warner Brothers Discovery is trying to purchase Paramount. So if that goes through, how bad is that going to fuck up Ninja Turtles? Because Warner Brothers Discovery might be one of the single worst fuck ups that I've seen in Hollywood.
Yeah, that whole situation has just been nothing but a nightmare.
Yeah, we had high hopes for that. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
But those two made my honorable mentions. All right, so what's your worst movies of the year?
I mean, I wouldn't even say they were terrible, because I enjoyed them, but like The Flash, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I didn't really care for Barbie. I didn't really care for, like, The Marvels was just a movie to me. It wasn't like anything like to scream at the mountaintops about. I'm trying to really think like other movies I've seen this year.
Well, while you think about that, I two made my list, and I don't know if you've seen one of them.
Was the Whale was last year, wasn't it?
Yes, because he won Best Actor.
Yeah.
But The Marvels is on my list, not because it's a bad movie, but more so that it's just a lazy movie. I felt like I wasted my time.
Adam Driver movie 65. I shut that off.
I haven't even watched that.
And then there was that piss poor remake of White Man Can't Jump with Jack Harlow.
I didn't watch that one either. The original with Wesley Snipes and Woody
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson is just classic. I didn't see the point of it being remade, but whatever. The other one I have on my list is Aquaman.
I have not seen Aquaman.
Oh my gosh.
I have no desire to see it. That's interesting of you, because Max Ish loved it. I think Max liked it also.
Max said that he enjoyed it, but he's not going to go pay to see it again.
Yeah, it was like it's the most movie of
That's amazing that Ish liked it, because when I watched it, I even turned to Jay and I said, this is giving off big Thor Love and Thunder vibes.
Oh yeah, if Ish wrote a whole synopsis about how great the movie is and how it's a true blue action-packed superhero movie to its core, and it piqued my interest, but I'm not about to go give any more money to DC right now.
It's lazy. It rips. When I was with Jay, I named off, I think, 3 or 4 Marvel movies that it ripped off ideas from. None of it is original. None of it. It rips off Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. It rips off Thor Love and Thunder. It rips off what was the other one that I said it ripped off? There's certain story beats that happen in there. You're like, okay, I understand what they wanted to do, but it just feels really uninspired. And this is coming from, I didn't really care for the first one that much either. I like Jason Momoa. I was excited to see how DC was going to close the whole DCEU era, I guess, the Snyder era. And it just felt like it lacked a rudder. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The
It
whole Snyderverse felt that way.
And Jason Momoa just seems to be really phoning it in. Not believable at all. And then Patrick Wilson, the same. And I'm sorry, but Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa have zero chemistry with each other.
That's interesting because I've heard a lot of people saying like it's like the perfect buddy cop movie.
Yeah, same people that said that Stuber was the perfect buddy
movie. Tyler's favorite movie, best movie ever made, Stuber.
No, it's bad, dude. I mean, it was bad enough to make my worst of 2023.
Yeah.
It's not a movie I ever care for. Shazam, the second Shazam is light years better than this, and Shazam's not that good.
Fury of the Gods.
Light years better than Aquaman, and it's not even that good. It just feels like they got the memo at the beginning of the year that this shit's not going anywhere. What pisses me off, dude, is that they canceled Batgirl. And everybody that's seen Batgirl has said, oh, this was a good movie.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard everyone say that they see why it was shelved and that it wasn't good.
Well, it couldn't have been any worse than Aquaman. I just don't understand why they cancel one and not the other.
Well, because Aquaman was already done and shot. And Batgirl, they were gonna have to go back and do like $100 million in reshoots. So they just canceled it so they didn't have to spend that extra money. But you got to remember, Aquaman's been coming out for, I want to say 2 years now. It just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed because of the pandemic. So
it just feels like it should have just been canceled. They're not going to make back their budget. I don't think they're going to make back their budget.
No, I don't think they will.
So Marvel's was number 2 on my list of worst of 2023, and Aquaman was number 3. That's how I feel right now. And I numbered these, and I really wish I didn't.
The bad thing about this year, though, is like we had a long stretch where movies, because of the actors and writers strike, studios were pushing movies. So, like, you got to think about it. We would have had what we were supposed to have: Ghostbusters, Frozen Kingdom this year, and I think we're supposed to have a couple other movies this year that got pushed into next year because of the actors and writers strike. So it just feels like the first half of 2023 was really good for movies, and then you had this giant lull, and then December had some decent movies. Like, really the only movies out that I was looking forward to were Wonka, which I didn't have a chance to see yet because it came out after we had the baby, and then Iron Claw. That was kind of like the last 2 movies of the year I was really looking forward to.
Wonka almost made my list just because it was just so well done. And it was so just it paid respect to the original because it's supposed to be a prequel to the Gene Wilder movie, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like it was very respectful of that movie. Does that make sense? Like, often you see prequels come in and like, oh, we're going to break the status quo, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This movie didn't do that. This movie said, okay, we hold this movie in such high regard. It is such a beloved thing that we want to do it justice. Like, we want, you know what I mean? Ghostbusters, the first, not the all girl one. The first one felt like that because Ivan Reitman's son was involved with it. Of course.
Afterlife.
Yes. That was the first one, right? With the ghost.
That was the one that came out a few years ago. That Ivan Reitman's son directed.
So it was made in respect to the original 2, right? Whereas Paul Feige's Ghostbusters, its sole purpose was to completely break the status quo, make something different, to hell with the original ones, right? And I feel like that's often what happens, right? They don't pay any respect. The Ninja Turtles, same thing, right? Not this new one. I felt this new one was a little bit more, besides changing those couple things. But
You're talking about the Michael Bay ones.
The Michael Bay ones, it said, hey, this is a ridiculous concept, so we're just gonna to hell with everything that came before this, and we're just gonna make our own thing, and zero respect to the original. So often that happens. Wonka feels like it belongs in the same conversation as the Gene Wilder movie, and
That's good. That's very encouraging.
Timothy Chalamet does a very good job. It's a
I
bit
really
more of
wanna
a
see it.
musical. It's
Yeah.
a bit more of a musical. Correct me if I'm wrong, like there were songs in the original, but only like 3. Well, every time the Oompa Loompas sing.
No, there was way more than 3. Because you had the Oompa Loompa song, you had the
You
like
had
what,
the
Pure
imagination.
Imagination song.
Well, this new one feels like it dials it up to 11. Like it feels like much more of a musical than I remember the original one.
Yeah, so you had the Pure Imagination, Golden Age of Chocolate, The Candyman, I Eat More, Think Positive, I Seen It All on TV, Cheer Up Charlie, whatever song it is that Grandpa Joe sings when his bastard ass finally gets out of bed.
But isn't a lot of those songs like the one that Mike TV sings? Isn't it
Mike
like
TV
very
does sing one?
Isn't it like very short?
Yeah, but it's still a song.
So in this movie, it's like full-length songs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's no short little like songs. So the difference that I see, like in the original movie, there was, besides Pure Imagination and Candyman and stuff, there was short songs like when the Oompa Loompa comes out and sings after a kid, like the German kid that falls in the lake and stuff like that. They sing a short little song, right? They were all things to like push the story along. This feels much more, the songs are much longer. I don't know.
Ooh,
it's been a while since I watched the original.
Another one that makes my list is The Little Mermaid.
You liked that?
No, as bad.
Oh yeah, it was awful. Awful. That is not to say that the girl that played Ariel was bad. I liked her. I didn't like the movie. Awkwafina was poorly cast.
Stole it.
And then
I didn't like the whole Prince Eric having an unnecessary song.
Yeah. So there's 2 songs that were written. Well, there was Scuttlebutt, right?
Yeah.
And then Prince Eric's song that were written for this movie, but they sing all the original songs. All the original songs sound like they fall in the same genre, and then Prince Eric's sounds way too modern. It was the same issue I had with Aladdin. They sang all those original songs.
Will Smith is the issue I had with Aladdin.
Yeah, he didn't bother me as much.
They should have just made a CGI version of the Robin Williams one and just use that. And just use the same voiceovers.
See, Aladdin didn't bother me as much. The biggest one that bothered me was Lion King.
I didn't mind the Seth Rogen Lion King, or not Seth Rogen, but
if that came out this year, that would be the top of my list. Hated it, but it's nice that you liked it. I did not. Okay. So, do you have any TV shows on your worst of, or we already went through that?
We already went through that, yeah.
So my worst thing that happened this year, it's number 1, the writers and actors strike.
I agree.
So number 2 was the Marvels, 3 Aquaman, number 4 was, we were told that we were going to get some sort of Fantastic Four casting news by the end of the year, and we didn't. And I'm tired of this thing dragging on and on and on. Just tell us who the fuck it is. I feel like what they're doing is they're like, hey, we got an idea for Mr. Fantastic. Float it out there and see what people think. I feel like every name that we've heard is not going to happen.
Well, we got Pedro Pascal or
Pasquale. He hasn't been confirmed.
Yeah, it's close. It's all about a done deal. If Disney isn't out there, I think that's.
I really don't want that, but you know, the Vanessa Kirby I heard as Sue Storm, that'd be fine. She looks it. She looks the part, I think.
And the dude who played Eddie in Stranger Things as Johnny Storm.
Yeah, none of this is confirmed though, right? Wait, Johnny Storm or the Thing?
Johnny Storm.
Oh,
the dude. Do you ever watch The Bear?
Yeah. Well, I know what you're talking about. The dude from Shameless.
No, his brother, from The Bear. So the dude in The Bear, not the main guy, but his brother, I think it is who they're talking about playing the Thing. The guy who played
Moss Bachrach.
Yeah, and the man who played Eddie in Stranger Things is going to be Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I knew he was involved. But I don't know. I just wish they would just fucking confirm something. That's all I want. And then my number 5 worst thing of 2023 was Matthew Perry. What happened to him? That sucked.
Him dying from using ketamine, and
which apparently was prescribed to him. It is prescribed to a lot of people. I don't know. Honorable mention for
Ozempic. Sorry.
Honorable mention for worst thing of 2023. Everything's too fucking expensive. Jesus. Everything costs way too much. All right. So do you have anything else you want to ask for worst of?
No, I think that
covers it.
I mean, yeah, for me, it was pretty much just the writers and actors strike. And
so looking forward to 2024. What do you got? I actually changed mine as you mentioned something because I forgot it was coming out and I can't.
Deadpool 3 saves the MCU.
I hope so. We'll see.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I don't know. Apparently, I just read a report that he's fighting with Disney about certain things. They wanted to put Brie Larson in it, and he said, "Fuck that." So apparently, they're fighting about shit.
I don't know why they want to put Brie Larson in it.
I have no idea, but apparently, not everything's running as smooth as you would hope for one of the most anticipated movies. My most anticipated movie of next year.
The only Marvel movie, MCU movie we're getting next year.
Is that the only one?
Yeah.
It better be fucking good, dude.
Then you're gonna have, of course, we get Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter and Venom 3 are all back to continue to sink the ship of the Sony Spider-Man universe.
When are they just gonna realize that? You know, I'm gonna go see Madam Web because of Sydney Sweeney. That's why I'm going to see it. But
have you watched that new comedy she's in with the dude from Top Gun?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I saw a poster for it. And I would probably want to go see that one. My second movie that I'm looking forward to, I think it comes out next year, is Beetlejuice 2.
I don't care. Beetlejuice. What's left to do with Beetlejuice? I just feel like Beetlejuice 2 is just gonna kill and hurt the reputation of the first one.
I don't know, dude.
Wrong, but
Jenna Ortega, she's kind of a horror. I'm not saying Beetlejuice is horror, but it kind of falls in that vein.
Horror? How do you know she's a horror?
Horror.
Oh,
she's a horror movie buff, right? And she did the Scream movie, and everybody's like, "Why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening?" She did the Scream movie, and that was very well received. I feel like she picks and chooses her
and she
project
did Wednesday,
very carefully,
and she was very good as Wednesday Addams. But I'm afraid like her character in Beetlejuice 2 is going to be too much like Wednesday because she's supposed to be Lydia's daughter. So it's like, all right, so Lydia kind of had that deadpanned,
right?
Like,
which Lydia basically is Wednesday.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, so I just don't see where how Beetlejuice 2 fits in. Like,
well, Tim Burton's involved in this, right?
I believe so.
He's writing and directing it, I hope.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
There's
like I
enough
said,
names in here to make me think that, I mean, Michael Keaton's coming back. He said that he wouldn't do it unless it was good. Jenna Ortega's going to be in it. Tim Burton's going to be in it, or going to be writing, directing it. There's enough names in this that make me think this has the potential to be good. So it's got me excited. There's not much to be excited for next year besides Deadpool, Beetlejuice, and Ghostbusters. Those are my top 3.
Deadpool 3. Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
For Ghostbusters.
Oh, I'm so excited for Ghostbusters. Next, I have Umbrella Academy.
I'm gonna watch it because I'm invested, but I'm kind of over it.
And then lastly, I have Ted, the Peacock series.
Oh, I could care less about that. They don't even have Mark Wahlberg.
Well, it's a prequel, so it's
I know,
kid.
But still. Well, Mark Wahlberg helped make that movie.
I wish he was like the narrator, kind of like young Sheldon.
Yeah, where he's like telling stories from his teenage years.
Yeah. Young Sheldon has like a different actor, a kid playing him, but he's the narrator.
Yeah, Jim Parsons.
I think that would be I don't know. We still don't know what it's going to be. Mark Wahlberg would have done it in a heartbeat, I'm sure, if they asked him.
Maybe. I think he's too busy he's too busy making another pacifier-esque movie for
Family Plan was awesome. I liked it a lot. I thought it was hilarious. Very cute and very easy to watch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And my honorable mention is SDCC.
For what?
Looking forward to 2024.
Oh.
What'd you think? Worst stuff?
I was like, is that on your like
no, looking forward.
Honorable mention for 2023?
No, looking forward. And then I'm also going to see Blink-182 in July. Again. And this time I think with Max.
Very nice.
So yeah. What about you? Did I cover everything you had on your list, or you have anything else?
I mean, pretty much I'm looking forward to whatever surprises 2024 brings.
The Boys,
Deadpool 3, San Diego Comic-Con is, as always, that's my go-to, but yeah, and just down for the ride for 2024, I guess.
I heard that things are going to start coming down in price. That's what I'm most looking forward to. Yeah. I really hope that's the case. We got a small relief with the gas. It was like right at $3 for like 2 weeks. And then it bumped right back up again. Yeah. So, but yeah,
my favorite moment of 2023 was this little peanut.
No,
look at that cry face.
She's got dark hair. Did Logan have dark hair like that?
Oh yeah, Logan looked like a little Michael Scott when she was born. So,
she's adorable. I like the name you chose too,
Riley.
For everybody listening to the podcast, Matt called me and gave me 3 choices, and I think that's the one I picked.
That's the one I saw. Everyone whose opinion that actually matters to me. I called my buddy Bass, who was in my wedding party, you and Kyle, and all picked Riley. All picked Riley. I wanted Carter, but I lost out to Riley. But that's all right. I got to sneak 2 Spider-Man references into her name because her name is Riley Elizabeth Parker.
That's awesome. I like the name Carter. I think I just didn't like what you had it paired with. I think that was my issue with the other 2 is you had
Carter Elizabeth Sky.
Yeah. I think that was my issue with the other ones you gave me is the pairings.
Well, Elizabeth is important because it's a very like big family name for Aaron's family. Like Aaron's middle name is Elizabeth. Taylor's middle name was Elizabeth. And so it's just, and I think there's a bunch of family history with that middle name. So Elizabeth was important. So that's why we went with that. No, we just kind of stuck with the 2 middle name thing since Logan has 2 of them.
Yeah, all the names are fine. I just didn't like how they were combined with some of them. So I think you picked the best one.
You know, I've come to learn in our second child that my wife and I are just horrible at naming kids because it took us like that was the last thing holding us up to come home from the hospital. Is like, you need a name. We need a name. We need a name. Like we were being hounded by the birth records people to give her name.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Like I thought that you could turn that in after. Like I thought they would just name it like they were baby all word or something.
You can, but they were really hounding us for a name. And I was like, oh, I don't want to leave without having that name.
Yeah.
So
we had all ours picked out. And they all fit, in my opinion. I was really worried about the last one, Olivia, because we thought she was a boy. So we were like really wanting the name Oliver. And then my grandfather's name, which is Delfor, as a middle name. And when we found out it was a girl, we had to change it up real quick. And I said, well, why not just the female version of Oliver, Olivia? So I was nervous that it wasn't going to fit, but now I can't. What we call her Livy, and Livy is what fits. When I call her Olivia, it feels strange. But
yeah.
But yeah. But so that's our looking forward to 2024. That's everything that was sucked in 2023 and everything that was great about 2023. What was your
I'm most looking forward to 2024 to putting more episodes of the show out, not taking such long breaks in between, and more content and better content, and the return of Couch Crunchers and so much stuff coming to this channel and collabs, hopefully.
Well, now we're trying to figure out when we're gonna do the Couch Cruncher show. we're fighting over nights. Max is like, I can do Tuesday, but at like 10. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, don't you have a job?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Couch Crunchers is gonna be awesome, man. I should have put that on my list. Now I feel like I'm a bad podcast host, but Jay, Max, and I are gonna come back with Couch Crunchers. It's gonna be live in this room, all three of us sitting together, which was something that was really important to Jay, and I think would add a little different element to the network. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
So it's gonna be a little different than what Couch Crunchers was before. It's just gonna be movie review once a month. Sometimes a new movie, sometimes an old movie. Who knows? But we're only going to talk about shit that we want to talk about.
There you go.
No movie reviews about Scoob.
There you go.
So, or what was the other one I had to watch that fucking I fell asleep in? My Hero Academia.
Oh, that must have been Stan.
Yeah, I went to the movie theater to watch it. Had no idea what it was about. I fell asleep 30 minutes in and woke up to some guy that had toilet paper shooters. Sorry, guys.
Insane.
Anime is not my thing. I apologize. The next time he requested an anime, it was Akira. Is that the name of it?
Uh-huh.
And I was conveniently not around for that episode.
Akira's a classic, man.
I don't know, dude. I'm just not into anime.
I get that.
At all. It's just not my thing. I don't know. And I like adult animation. You know what I mean? Like I like Family Guy and The Simpsons and South Park, but anime just doesn't get me, man. But although that Scott Pilgrim was pretty fucking awesome.
I can't finish it. It's boring the shit out of me.
Oh, I watched it all in one sitting. But I love Scott Pilgrim with all.
So do I. I love Scott Pilgrim. I love the movie, the live action movie, but just Scott Pilgrim takes off. Something about it is just so boring to me.
I wish it wasn't a cartoon. I could say that much. I wish it was live action, but if that's all I get, that's all I get.
But let us know in the comment section below what your favorite part of 2023 was. Best, worst, all of that goodness, and what you're looking forward to most in 2024 and what you're hoping to see. It could be movies, TV shows, new content on the channel, anything like that.
Matt's white ass.
Yeah, we promise we're going to do better about trying to get shows up on a weekly basis. But yeah,
Why'd you just blow past my comment? You don't think anybody wants to see your ass?
Nobody wants to see my white dimply ass, cottage cheese cratered ass, right?
I do.
No, you don't. If you want to go look at a horrifying ass, you can go stare at Max's.
No, there's too much hair. There's more hair than ass.
Woolly mammoth ass.
It's like a wildebeest under there.
But yeah, here's to a hopefully great 2024, prosperous for everyone. And we will see you guys back here next time.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2024. Ready or not, here it comes.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks and drink some Cosby wine.
We'll drink some Cosby wine.
Drunk Travis.
It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.